What if the greatest love stories of Outlander were only the beginning? What if the roots of passion, betrayal, and sacrifice ran deeper than Jaime and Claire's adventures? That's exactly what Outlander, Blood of My Blood revealed in its breathtaking first season. But now, as whispers of Season 2 grow louder, fans are left with one burning question: what secrets still lie buried in the past of the Fraser and Beecham families, and how will they shape the Outlander universe forever? Outlander, Blood of My Blood quickly became one of the most talked about historical dramas of 2025. Unlike the original Outlander, which swept us across centuries through Claire and Jaime's time-traveling bond, this prequel pulled us back into the 18th century, long before their destinies intertwined. Season 1 focused on two love stories: the forbidden romance of Brian Fraser and Ellen Mackenzie, and the complex bond between Henry Beecham and Julia Morrison. These weren't just side tales, they were the foundations of the Outlander legacy. Every glance, every battle, every choice they made created ripples that would eventually reach Jaime and Claire generations later. The first season, which premiered on August 8, 2025, was a revelation. With lush Scottish landscapes, deeply layered characters, and storylines that blended political tension with heart-stopping romance, it pulled both loyal Outlander fans and brand-new viewers into its orbit. It wasn't simply about family history, it was about how fragile and powerful love can be in a world where loyalty, honor, and survival are constantly at war. Fans witnessed Brian and Ellen defy clan politics for love, even when it meant going against the expectations of their powerful families. At the same time, Henry and Julia's story opened a window into the struggles and sacrifices of the Beecham family, who carried their own burdens of legacy and choice. The response was overwhelming. Social media lit up with theories, fan art, and passionate debates. Was Brian's charm too reckless? Would Ellen's defiance cost her dearly? Could Henry and Julia's choices explain why Claire Beecham was always drawn toward sacrifice and duty? These questions fueled online communities, transforming the show into more than just entertainment. It became a cultural event. Viewers weren't just watching, they were living alongside these characters, feeling their heartbreaks, their triumphs, and their desperate hopes. Part of what made Season 1 unforgettable was the cast. Jaime Roy brought Brian Fraser to life with a rare mix of vulnerability and fire, making him both a romantic hero and a flawed young man struggling with responsibility. Harriet Slater's Ellen Mackenzie embodied resilience and quiet strength, a woman willing to risk everything for the man she loved. Jeremy Irvine, as Henry Beecham, gave a layered performance of a man torn between duty and desire, while Hermione Corfield as Julia Morrison balanced tenderness with the weight of difficult choices. Their chemistry wasn't just scripted, it felt lived in, authentic, as if the audience was intruding on real, private moments from the past. Behind the scenes, the dedication of the cast became part of the show's mythos. They trained in Scottish dialects, spent grueling hours learning how to ride horses and wield weapons, and wore costumes so heavy and layered that actors admitted the wool would cling to them like armor, especially when rain soaked through. These details might sound small, but they mattered. They made the 1700s feel raw and immersive. Fans didn't just watch Scotland, they felt the cold winds, the muddy roads, and the tension of clans at war. By the time the final episode of Season 1 aired, the foundations had been laid for something even bigger. The love stories had been told, but not completed. Families were bound together, but the fractures were already showing. And it was clear, this was just the beginning. The announcement of Season 2 came before the first season even finished airing, proving stars knew they had lightning in a bottle. The excitement doubled. What new political conflicts would threaten these families? What sacrifices would be demanded next? And most haunting of all, what truths from the past would shake the very future of the Outlander saga? Season 2 now carries the weight of expectation, and fans are counting down the days for answers. But one thing is certain, the stakes will be higher, the betrayals more shocking, and the love stories even more heartbreaking. Because if Season 1 was about laying the foundation of the Fraser and Beecham legacies, Season 2 is about testing them in ways that will echo through generations. When a show delivers a first season as powerful as Outlander, Blood of My Blood, the question isn't just what happens next, it's how can the story rise even higher. Season 2 isn't just about continuing a tale, it's about deepening it, stretching the boundaries of love, loyalty, and betrayal in a world where every choice has consequences. For Brian Fraser, Ellen Mackenzie, Henry Beecham, and Julia Morrison, the trials of Season 1 were only the beginning. The real test lies ahead. Fans already suspect that the second season will place these families in the heart of Scotland's shifting political landscape. The clans are restless, alliances fragile, and whispers of rebellion spread like wildfire. Ellen's decision to follow her heart with Brian defied clan expectations, but that defiance may spark political consequences beyond what either of them imagined. Marriages in 18th-century Scotland weren't just matters of the heart, they were matters of survival, power, and land. Season 2 will likely show us just how dangerous love becomes when it collides with clan politics. For Brian, this isn't just about being a husband and father, it's about proving himself as a leader. In Season 1, we saw glimpses of his fiery determination, but also his flaws, his youthful recklessness, his willingness to take risks for love. Season 2 promises to test those qualities. Can Brian rise above personal passion to protect his family from enemies circling in the shadows? Or will his fierce pride bring them closer to ruin? It's this tension, between love and duty, between personal happiness and family honor, that gives the story its power. On the Beecham side, the emotional stakes are just as high. Henry and Julia's relationship, complicated by the expectations of society and the demands of family, is far from resolved. Julia's quiet strength and Henry's inner turmoil created some of the most moving moments in Season 1, and fans are eager to see where their path leads next. Will they find peace in a world that constantly pulls them apart, or will their sacrifices set the stage for the resilience and determination that Claire Beecham embodies in the future? The brilliance of Blood of My Blood lies in how it weaves romance with history. The Fraser and Beecham stories aren't told in isolation, they are caught in the storm of a nation on the edge of rebellion. The Jacobite uprisings, clan rivalries, and the relentless pull of destiny all loom in the background. Season 2 will not only explore personal love stories, but also the political fires that threaten to consume Scotland itself. Every embrace could be a goodbye, every choice a gamble, every alliance a betrayal waiting to happen. The cast themselves have hinted at the challenges ahead. Jamie Roy spoke about how the emotional stakes only deepen in the second season, saying that the intensity of family loyalty and personal sacrifice will reach new heights. Harriet Slater, who captured Ellen's bold spirit, described Season 2 as a chance to see Ellen's choices tested in ways that fans might not expect. And Jeremy Irvine hinted that Henry's journey would move into darker, more conflicted territory, with decisions that could fracture everything he holds dear. What makes this anticipation even stronger is how invested the fans already are. After just one season, Brian and Ellen's story feels as iconic as Jamie and Claire's. Their love isn't just a backstory, it's a living, breathing romance that audiences care about deeply. The same goes for Henry and Julia, whose bond carries an elegance and fragility that resonates with viewers. In Season 2, the writers now hold the power to break hearts or restore hope, and fans know that in the world of Outlander, nothing ever comes without a price. Beyond the love stories, Season 2 also promises to peel back the curtain on family legacies. How do the choices of one generation define the next? How do hidden truths and buried secrets echo through time? These are questions that longtime fans of Outlander are desperate to see explored, because they link directly to the characters they already know and love, Jamie Fraser and Claire Beecham. Every betrayal, every alliance, every sacrifice in Blood of My Blood is part of the chain that eventually leads to their story. Season 2 will show us just how strong, or how fragile, that chain really is. With filming already underway, the buzz has become unstoppable. Leaked set photos and cast interviews have sparked fan theories about battles, betrayals, and even unexpected deaths. Some speculate that Season 2 will dive into events that foreshadow the tragedies of Culloden, while others believe it will focus more on the private wars within families. Whatever direction the story takes, one thing is certain, the characters we've come to love will be forced to face choices that change everything. And that's the brilliance of Outlander, Blood of My Blood. It's not just about history, it's about humanity. It's about how love survives when everything else crumbles, how families endure when loyalty is tested, and how destiny is shaped not by the victories we win, but by the sacrifices we're willing to make. Season 2 promises to take these themes to their most dramatic extremes, leaving fans breathless with every twist and turn. Season 2 of Outlander, Blood of My Blood is shaping up to be more than just a continuation of love stories. It's set to be a battle of survival, loyalty, and betrayal against the harsh backdrop of 18th-century Scotland. The peace and promise of Season 1 were only illusions. Now, the cracks in family ties, the looming specter of political uprisings, and the weight of personal sacrifice are about to collide in ways that no one can escape. The Frasers and the Mackenzies may have been united by Brian and Ellen's daring choice to love one another, but such unions do not come without cost. In Season 1, we saw hints of disapproval and quiet resentment within the clans, but those whispers are likely to turn into open challenges. Ellen's defiance of her family's will, while romantic and inspiring, threatens to unravel alliances that have held power for generations. In a world where loyalty to the clan defines survival, one woman's rebellion could ignite a firestorm that consumes them all. At the same time, Brian must face the heavy burden of proving his worth, not just to Ellen, but to her powerful family and the clans that circle like wolves around them. Can he rise as a leader who commands respect, or will his pride and fierce independence lead them into danger? The Brian Fraser we saw in Season 1 was passionate and brave, but also impulsive. Season 2 will likely test those qualities brutally. Fans know that Jamie Fraser's courage and stubborn pride had to come from somewhere, and many are eager to see whether Brian's choices will reveal that same blend of strength and recklessness. Meanwhile, Henry Beecham and Julia Morrison face their own trials. Their love, tender and complex, must withstand the harsh realities of a society where every relationship is scrutinized, judged, and tested. Henry's sense of duty clashes with his heart, and Julia's quiet resilience is stretched to its breaking point. Will they bend under the weight of expectation, or will they rise above it together? Fans are desperate to know whether their story will reflect the sacrifices and struggles that later define Claire's life and choices. But love is only part of the picture. History itself is closing in. The clans of Scotland are restless, the seeds of rebellion already taking root. Though Season 1 only brushed against the larger political storms of the time, Season 2 will likely bring these conflicts into sharper focus. Jacobite loyalties, shifting alliances, and betrayals within families are poised to drag every character into danger. For the Frasers and Beechams, survival may not depend on love alone, but on strategy, compromise, and sacrifice. This is where the suspense deepens. Outlander has always excelled at blurring the line between personal destiny and historical inevitability, and Blood of My Blood carries that tradition forward. Every private decision, whether to marry for love or duty, whether to speak truth or keep a secret, whether to stand with family or walk away, will echo into the greater story of Scotland's fate. Fans can feel it. In Season 2, no choice will be small, and no sacrifice will be forgotten. Behind the cameras, the creators have hinted at just how immersive this season will be. Elaborate sets, sprawling outdoor locations, and battle sequences are said to raise the scale far beyond what Season 1 delivered. The authenticity that fans adored in the first season, the thick wool costumes, the horse riding, the brutal weather of the Highlands, will be intensified, pushing the actors and the audience deeper into the reality of the 1700s. This isn't history as decoration, this is history as a living, breathing force that shapes every heartbeat of the drama. And let's not forget the performances. In Season 1, the chemistry among the cast carried the story, making viewers believe in every stolen glance, every whispered promise, every tear. In Season 2, that same chemistry will be tested against even harsher conditions. The laughter behind the scenes, the camaraderie of long days in costume, and the years of friendship among some of the actors created a natural closeness that translated beautifully on screen. But now, as the story darkens, those bonds will have to carry the weight of heartbreak, betrayal, and perhaps even loss. Speculation among fans has already begun. Will there be a shocking death in Season 2 that shatters the families and changes the course of history? Could a betrayal come from someone closest to Brian or Ellen, or will Henry's duty force him to choose between love and survival? These are the questions keeping the Outlander community buzzing, building theories, and bracing themselves for the possibility that Season 2 will not hold back its punches. Because if Season 1 was about falling in love, Season 2 is about what it takes to keep love alive when the world is set against you. It's about whether passion can endure in the shadows of war, whether loyalty can survive betrayal, and whether family bonds are strong enough to withstand the storms of history. In short, it's about the kind of love and sacrifice that defines legends and makes fans come back for more. As the anticipation for Outlander, Blood of My Blood Season 2 builds, one thing is clear: this is not just another chapter in a historical drama. This is the story of how legacies are forged, how love survives the impossible, and how the choices of one generation echo through centuries. Season 1 gave us the spark, the beginnings of Brian and Ellen, Henry and Julia. Season 2 promises the fire, the storm, and the heartache that will define their lives and, ultimately, shape the destiny of Jamie Fraser and Claire Beecham. For fans, this return carries weight. They know the stakes are higher. They know the dangers are closer. And they know that Outlander has never shied away from tragedy. The whispers online are filled with questions. Will Brian and Ellen's love survive when clan politics tighten their grip? Will Henry and Julia find strength together, or be forced apart by the demands of duty? Could betrayal come from inside their closest circles, striking at the very heart of the families we've come to love? Season 2 is not only about answers, it's about raising the questions that fans will carry long after the credits roll. The brilliance of this prequel lies in its dual power, nostalgia and discovery. Longtime fans of the original Outlander series see the familiar threads woven into the past, traits in Brian that reflect Jamie's courage, sacrifices in Julia that mirror Claire's resilience. But newcomers find an entirely fresh story, one that doesn't require knowledge of what came before. It's this balance that makes Blood of My Blood so magnetic. It feels like returning home and discovering something entirely new at the same time. And then, there's the production itself. Scotland, with its wild beauty and untamed landscapes, will once again play as much a role as the characters themselves. The mists, the moors, the ancient stone walls, they are not just backdrops, they are silent witnesses to the struggles of the Fraser and Beecham families. Every frame is crafted to immerse the audience deeper into the 18th century, where every storm in the sky mirrors the storms within the heart. When the actors ride across windswept fields or whisper secrets by candlelight, viewers are not just watching, they are transported. What Season 2 promises most is emotion. Moments that will break hearts, scenes that will make pulses race, and revelations that will leave fans speechless. Outlander has always thrived on the unexpected twist, the moment that no one saw coming but everyone felt in their bones once it happened. Blood of My Blood will carry that torch forward, making every episode not just a story but an event. Fans will gather online to share theories, cry together over heartbreak, and celebrate victories no matter how small. It's not just a show, it's a community, a shared journey through history, love, and sacrifice. So what lies ahead? Expect deeper family dynamics that peel away the perfect surface and reveal the fractures beneath. Expect political intrigue that doesn't just touch the families, it threatens to tear them apart. Expect love stories that are tested, broken, and rebuilt in the fire of adversity. And above all, expect the kind of storytelling that made Outlander a worldwide phenomenon, bold, emotional, and unforgettable. The wait for the official release date may be painful, but fans know it will be worth it. Because when Outlander, Blood of My Blood returns for its second season, it will not simply tell us what happens next, it will remind us why this saga matters. Why the love of Brian and Ellen still burns through time. Why the choices of Henry and Julia echo through their daughter Claire. And why, even after years of Outlander, this universe continues to capture hearts across the world. Season 2 is coming. The past is calling. And when the story returns, it will take us deeper into the shadows, closer to the truth, and remind us that love and sacrifice are the true bloodlines of the Outlander legacy.